The Call of Duty sniping community is a very passionate bunch. I've been watching you guys for years. A ton of you comment on my videos all the time, but sometimes they gravitate to a sniper rifle that just doesn't make a lot of sense to gravitate to. It's true. Sometimes a sniper gets really popular when there are perfectly solid alternatives, and sometimes those alternatives are actually better, but nobody cares. What is up, everybody? Jimmy or Chaos. Today, we're going to do what I think are the most overrated sniper rifles in every single Call of Duty, from COD 4 all the way through Black Ops 7, and of course, we now include COD Mobile in these lists. And COD Mobile has a lot of sniper rifles. So you let me know in the comments which of these you think is the most overrated. I'm sure the comment section is going to be pretty spicy today, and we'll start off at COD 4. The M40A3. Now, the M40 is a piece of COD history. I will not deny that. We might not ever have gotten Quickscoping if it wasn't for this gun. But was it the best sniper in the game? Honestly, I don't think so. At least not when you remember the Barrett 50 cal exist. The Barrett may have been harder to control and a bit heavier, but it also had much better ammo capacity, a way faster reload animation, and it could be rapid fire despite still being a consistent one-shot kill. I mean, I guess the Barrett wasn't quite as good for quickscoping, and that's really what made the M40 so popular, but sometimes I think the legacy of the M40 kind of gets in the way of its stats. It may have been smooth, may have been introduced us to quickscoping, but if you ask me, I don't think it was the best sniper in the game. That was the Barrett, and yeah, that's how we're going to go with this video, so hang on with your opinions. World at War. The Kar 98K. Now, this game had a lot of sniper rifles. Heck, there were 4 bolt actions at launch, but here's the thing. They all had nearly identical stats, which if you've watched my channel, you know. Treyarch made all 4 of the bolt action snipers nearly identical, so that way the only real difference between them was how they handled, which meant the best bolt action didn't really exist because it was just personal preference. So tell me, why do so many people say the Kar was the best sniper in the game? I mean, I know the COD community has a pretty hardcore Kar bias, and I agree that the Kar is an awesome gun, but it was nearly identical to the other 3 bolt actions in the game. So why are so many people so adamant that it was the best of the bunch when there's very little that distinguishes it from the other 3? I mean, I'm pretty sure this one is just, honestly, Kar 98K bias. And besides, we all know the actual best sniper in the World at War was the PTRS, right? Today's video is sponsored by the Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin. A lot of fantasy lately tries to be clever or ironic. Bigger budgets, bigger moments. Sometimes the story gets lost. Well, the Pendragon Cycle Rise of the Merlin takes a more serious approach. This is not another King Arthur story. This is set before Camelot, before the Crown, when Britain is divided and close to falling apart, and belief plays a real role in how people make decisions. I mean, Merlin is treated as someone who actually shapes events, not a side character or a joke, but a figure whose choices and beliefs have actual consequences. It's a 7-episode cinematic series filmed across multiple international locations with full-scale battles, grounded production design, and an original orchestral score made just for the show. The tone, it stays serious the whole way through. It's not trying to modernize or undercut the story at all. It just lets the legend play out on its own terms. So check it out when you have a chance. The Pendragon Cycle is available now to stream on Daily Wire Plus, and the link is in the description. Modern Warfare 2 2009. The Intervention. Now, I'm going to piss you guys off here, but you know what? I've been doing this for a long time. I feel like I can be open with you guys and transparent. The Intervention may have been the most famous sniper in classic Modern Warfare 2, but I feel the same way about it as I did with the M40A3 in COD 4. It was smooth as butter. Definitely the best for quickscoping, but it was not the best sniper in the game. In fact, I think the best sniper in Modern Warfare 2 was once again the Barrett 50 cal. Better ammo capacity, better fire rate, still a consistent one-shot kill. The Intervention was definitely more clip-worthy, yes, and it sounded awesome, yes, and those animations were so smooth, yes, but do not let that distract you from the raw stats. If you're looking at raw stats, the Barrett was better. Those are facts. Black Ops 1. The L96A1. Now, the sniping kind of sucked in this game, we all know that, so even though the L96 was clearly the most popular choice, that doesn't mean that it was the best in the grand scheme of things. In fact, that's the exact reason why I think it's overrated. The fact that sniping in this game sucked meant basically all the snipers were viable in their own way, except for the Dragunov. That thing was absolutely useless. Now, the L96 didn't even have the best damage in the sniper class. That title went to the incredibly underrated PSG-1. It's not like anyone was quickscoping in the game. Treyarch deliberately made the quickscoping mechanics in the game really clunky and awkward, so you were basically only going to succeed with a sniper rifle if you were playing slowly. And you had to be sniping traditionally. It meant everything except for the Dragunov was viable. Frankly, I think the love for the L96 is just bolt action bias from the COD community, which is fair because bolt action snipers are generally a lot cooler than semi-auto ones, but I think enough time has passed. We can rip off the Band-Aid here. We can all be honest with each other and admit the L96 was not the best sniper in the original Black Ops. It was the coolest, but not the objective best. Modern Warfare 3 2011. The MSR. Now, there was some debate back in Modern Warfare 3's era over whether the MSR was actually the best sniper in the game because there was some other beastly rifles in that category. I mean, I was always partial to the L118A, and I know a lot of you probably were fans of the AS50 or even the RS-ASS if you were a D-bag, right? Every sniper in the game had a specific role in the sandbox. They all felt really unique from one another. Why is it everyone just called the Quickscoping rifle the best in the game? That wasn't really a definite best sniper in the game because they were all different from one another. And yet so many people said, yeah, the MSR was the best hands down because it was the best for quickscoping. Why is that? The best sniper in Modern Warfare 3 was totally dependent on how you were going to snipe? Come on now. Black Ops 2. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Frankly, I don't think there was any overrated snipers in Black Ops 2 because every sniper had a distinct role and everyone seems to agree on that. Even the people who spam the ballista will tell you it's not the best traditional sniper in the game, and there's something to be said about that. The ballista may have been the most popular sniper in the game because of its speed, but it also had the relatively small one-shot kill range, which made it not so great at traditional sniping. That was more of a job for the DSR, which of course, after it was nerfed, was the hard-scoping long-range sniper of choice. But even then, there was the very underrated SVUAS, which was a more spammy choice, and then there was the XPR, which was the wild card. No sniper rifle in this game was overrated. Now, you could probably argue that some of them were underrated, but that's a topic for another video. Black Ops 2, still the most well-balanced gaming COD history. Because of that, I am not going to give any sniper rifle a spot on today's list. I like it. Call of Duty Ghosts. The USR. Basically, the Modern Warfare 3 MSR debate all over again because every sniper in COD Ghost had a unique place in the sandbox. I know I'm repeating myself, but everybody just gravitated to the one that was the best for quickscoping and called it the best, even though that's not fair. I mean, you had the Lynx, you had the L115, you had the VKS, and later you had the Maverick A2 as the first DLC sniper in COD history. All of these snipers were viable. They all had totally different playstyles, but the USR was the one that all the quickscopers were using, so that got all the attention online, and that's the one everybody assumed was the best. I mean, with how fast the time to kill was in the game, you could get work done with any sniper rifle that you equipped, if you knew what you were doing. Advanced Warfare. Nothing. Another case where I don't actually think there was an underrated sniper. But while Black Ops 2 didn't have underrated snipers because everything was good, Advanced Warfare situation was a little different. There's no underrated snipers in the game because the Moors was the only good one and everyone knew it. So sniping in this game was hard enough with everyone bunny hopping around the map 24/7. So the only viable sniper was the Moors because it was the only one that could reliably get you a one-shot kill. I mean, the other snipers were either too inconsistent like the Lynx, or too niche like the NA45, or just too awkward like the huge Atlas 20mm. No snipers in AW were underrated because everyone knew there was only one good one. Black Ops 3. The SVG-100. This was one of two bolt-action snipers in the game at launch, and most of us remember it fondly because of the huge, thunderous firing sound and the awesome rechamber animation where the gun would mechanically load itself. That was cool. I think most people in the Black Ops 3 community were in agreement that the Locust was the best sniper in the game because of the speed, the ammo capacity, one-shot kill range, all of it. There was a lot of people who really wanted to act like the SVG-100 was some kind of underrated monster that was actually the best sniper in the game. And I have to tell those people, no, it wasn't. It was definitely a cool sniper. There was definitely memorable aspects of the but the Locust had it beaten basically every department. So even though most people agreed the Locust was the best, I'm still saying the SVG was the most overrated because of all the people who were trying to say it was some kind of true competitor to the Locust, when in reality, it was not. The Locust, freak of nature. The SVG, just a cool bolt-action sniper in Call of Duty. Infinite Warfare. Nothing, because the sniping absolutely sucked. There was no overrated sniper rifles in this game because nobody even talked about the sniper rifles in this game. And why would they? The sniping in this game was terrible. It was sluggish. The maps weren't built for it. The movement was way too quick and vertical for you to defy the odds and actually get good at it. I mean, so no. None of the snipers were overrated in Infinite Warfare because the sniping was buns and nobody was sniping. Let's move on. COD World War II. The Kar 98K. Now, there was a time when the Kar was absolutely the best sniper in this game, and I won't deny that. But after it was nerfed and the other snipers were buffed and more DLC snipers were added to the mix, I find it hard to see why so many people still insist this is the best weapon in its class. Let it go. Let it go. I mean, it wasn't. Again, it was absolutely the best at one point, but after all the updates the game received, it was pretty clearly not the best anymore. What about the Lee Enfield after all the patches? What about the lever action? The Type 38? I know there were some crappy snipers in the game, but there were some really good ones that gave the car a run for its money once it was nerfed back down to earth. But still, a lot of people will insist the car is the best sniper in the game to this day, despite it being heavily nerfed and despite there being plenty of completely viable alternatives. Once again, I think this is that the car was suffering from Car 98K bias in the COD community. I talked about it earlier in the video. COD players just love the car. It's so smooth, even if it's not actually the best option. Black Ops 4. The Locust. Now, when the Locust was brought back as DLC, the community went nuts. And that's fair because the Locust was the best sniper in Black Ops 3, and the Black Ops 4 remake was really good. But to everyone who said it was the best, I don't see it. The Paladin was a better heavy sniper. The Koshka was a better aggressive sniper. Then you had the absolute monster that was the Javelina AA-50. The Locust felt good, felt smooth, and Treyarch did a great job at making it feel exactly like it did in Black Ops 3. But I think the whole nostalgia factor kind of blinded some people to the actual reality. It wasn't the best sniper. It was good. It was great. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't as good as a lot of people said it was. Modern Warfare 2019. HDR. Now, it's kind of weird that MW19 only had 4 snipers. Whenever I think back to this era of COD, I always think that there was way more than 4 snipers, but I'm pretty sure that's because I'm mentally putting guns like the CAR and the SPR in the sniper category, when in reality, those were marksman rifles in the game. Now, as for the proper sniper rifles in Modern Warfare, it's probably pretty clear the HDR was the most overrated, right? Mainly because of how dominant it was in Warzone, and believe me, I know how dominant it was in Warzone. I was there. But in standard multiplayer, slower, more awkward version of the AX-50. With how fast the time to kill was in this game, you didn't need this giant hulking bolt-action sniper like the HDR to get insta-kills from a distance. Heck, the freaking Dragunov could do that, and it was a semi-automatic. People just thought the HDR was the best because of how strong it was in Warzone. Standard multiplayer? Overrated as heck. Black Ops Cold War. The LW3 Tundra. Now, this probably was the best sniper in the game at one point, mainly thanks to its speed and versatility. But once the Swiss K31 came along, I think it's safe to say the Tundra was properly dethroned. Some people are still Tundra believers. I get it. I mean, I guess I respect your loyalty, but ultimately, the Swiss had it beat. Fast, versatile, super customizable. Does everything that Tundra does, but better. Maybe I'm just not enough of a sniper to understand the nuances here, but I don't see why anyone would still use the Tundra after getting the Swiss. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments telling me, Jimmy, you're missing all of this. Hopefully politely, but I get it. I mean, I know by this point in the video, the comment section is probably an absolute war zone right now. Call of Duty Vanguard. The car. Oh, look, more Car 98K bias from the COD community. And this one at least kind of is understandable because Vanguard had the insane 10 attachment gunsmith, so every sniper could theoretically be turned into just a crazy, crazy overpowered beast. I suppose the car had decent starting stats that made it pretty easy to kid out, but here's the thing. So did the Type 99 and the 3 line. All 3 of the bolt actions in the game were very strong starting points for your cursed gunsmith builds. So why is the Car 98K seen as the best of the bunch? It's car bias. Again. Modern Warfare 2 2022. The FJX Imperium. What a name. This was the Modern Warfare 2 remake of the classic Intervention, so naturally it was going to be popular, but the nostalgia goggles are super strong here because it is by no means the best sniper in this game, as much as a lot of people wanted to argue it was. Frankly, all the snipers in the game are strong in their own way because of how fast the time to kill was and how slow and campy the map design is. Anyone can do well with the sniper on these maps. So tell me, why would the best sniper in the game be the one that's built for aggressive play and quickscoping? It wouldn't, would it? It's not. The best sniper in the game is the SPX. I think by a landslide. I think Infinity Ward actually did a great job at making the FJX Imperium look and sound like a proper modern version of the classic Intervention, but that doesn't make it the best sniper in the game. This game is designed for Little Timmy. It is. And yeah, there's my Little Timmy reference for the video. Whoever the hater is that says I need to come up with new jokes. There you go. Modern Warfare 3 2023. The Moors. I honestly love that Sledgehammer is bringing back Advanced Warfare era weapons into Modern Warfare universe. I like it. I can see why many people were drawn to the Moors because it's super unique compared to every other sniper in the game. But when you factor in all the other snipers in Modern Warfare 3, all the Modern Warfare 2 snipers as well that were carried over to the game with huge buffs, including the Imperium, ironically, it's hard to see why people call the Moors the best. And trust me, I know it was strong. But there's a lot of other really strong snipers in the game. They all have great handling speeds. They all have attachment selections, or both. The Moors is a cool addition. It's not the best. I think a lot of people just let themselves think it's the best because of the unique single shot design and the super high damage. At the end of the day, and it sounded good, there's plenty of other snipers in the game that deal really high consistent damage and can hold more than one shot at a time while still just handling just as quick as smooth as the Moors. And for that, I think it's the most overrated sniper in the game. Black Ops 6. The LW3A1. Another case of nostalgia trumping stats here. The LW3 strongly resembles the classic L96A from Black Ops 1, but it's also a successor to the LW3 Tundra from Black Ops Cold War. So there's two generations of nostalgia on display here, and that nostalgia is made pretty popular despite it being one of the most inconsistent bolt-action snipers in COD history. I know, it's been patched a few times, but I do remember how terrible it was during the first few months of BO6, and even after all the patches, I don't see what makes it any better than the LR762. I mean, I wonder if the LW3's popularity in the game is just an underdog situation. The gun sucked during the launch window despite being filled with nostalgia, so maybe the community really wanted it to get better, and now that it's gotten better with patches, there's a lot of people who really want to be able to say it's a beast, when in reality, it's still completely outclassed by the other bolt action that was there on launch day. Maybe this is a case of sniper, placebo effect. Look, I get it. I always want the legacy weapons to be good too, and I'm disappointed when they're not, but the LW3A1, I don't think it was it. Black Ops 7. Let me be honest with you. I don't know. I really don't know. During the beta, everybody was using the VS Recon, but now that the full game has been out and at least one sniper has been added, I genuinely don't know what the sniper tier list looks like. So I couldn't even begin to tell you which one's overrated, properly rated. So I'm just going to move on to COD Mobile. Maybe one day I'll get back into Black Ops 7, but that day is not today. With how many people in my community are actually playing the game, how many few people, I think. I don't think you guys are going to be mad at me for skipping this one. And finally, COD Mobile. The Locust. This was hard because there is a lot of sniper rifles in the game, and I think the Locust is a solid choice for being overrated here. I mean, everything I've seen of the COD Mobile sniping community, I think the Tundra may be the actual best weapon in its class. And look, I respect anyone who can consistently snipe on a phone screen because that is hard. It's impossible for me. But when I put the Locust next to the other snipers in the game, the Koshka, the Tundra, I kind of find it hard to see why so many people call it the best. Is it Black Ops 3 nostalgia bias again? I think it has to be, honestly. And again, the Locust is a really good, solid sniper in the game, but best, I don't see it. It's that whole carryover bias. Let me know where you guys agree, where you disagree. I'll see you soon.